Hey. I might as well tell you a little something about myself. I live in a house with my 2 kids and my gorgeous partner, and we live close to the inner city, which means our house is way too small. Way too small. We should have moved out to the burbs years ago. Like, I grew up in the suburbs. You know, when you're out in the suburbs, you got so many rooms in your house you don't even know what to do with it. I visit my mates who live in the burbs. They got stuff like front rooms. I'm like, what are you doing there? They're like, I don't know, front shit. Got to do some front stuff, I'll do it there, bro. The only communal room I've got in my house is a living room. How low are the standards to get into that room? Are you breathing? Oh, you've hit your KPI. Get in there, mate. Reap your rewards, my friend. That's why any time in the news that you read about sordid sex parties gone wrong, it's always out in the suburbs. It is, because I've got the room for it. You can't do it in the inner city, you can't. You get more than 3 people naked in a room in the inner city, they're going to stop 2 minutes in where someone goes, oh, nah, stop. I cook on that. If you're going to do that to a NutriBullet, take it out of the PowerPoint. That is unsafe and unhygienic, if I've got to be honest. But I live in a very alternative suburb. Like, I love it, but it's very alternative. It's the kind of place where people order coffees with milk that doesn't come from buzzies. Do you know what I mean? Now, I like almond milk, I really do, but I don't know how it got off the starters blocks. If you handed over a cup of miscellaneous liquid to someone and said, try that, what is it? I just milked a nut. You'll love that. No is the right answer to that, guys. They're very alternative, and you don't know where the conversation's going to go. That's the only problem. I was at the park with my eldest. She just befriended this boy, he had a little footy on his person, and he's sharing it with my daughter. That's great. He had huge hands, big feet, and like more coordinated than most adults I know. And I just said offhand, I'm like, oh, look at this little jet. He's going to grow up to be a gun footballer. And his mum, who I just met, stopped dead in her tracks and said, well, I hope not. Because I hate football and I hate its culture. It's like, oh. How alternative is this suburb with this kid will have to come out as a footballer to his parents? He'll come home one day at 15, have dirt on his shirt, and she's like, Jamathan, how'd you get that? All of a sudden, the floodgates are open. He's like, oh, every night after Montessori, I was never at that pottery class. I'm a footballer, I've always known it. Please just accept me for who I am. And I know you raised me as gay, but I think I'm straight. I'm so sorry. And I think I want to get vaccinated. You know, like it's a hard conversation to have. If you are insulted by that, please don't come up to me after the gig or anything, because you've probably got polio, and I've got enough on my plate, okay? One person clapped that. Did you clap polio, or did you... Simpler times, am I right? Hey? You know, dude, I only met recently. He asked me what I do, and I said, oh, I'm a stand-up comedian. And he said, oh, are you famous? I thought, well, by rights of you having to ask that question, let's go with no on this one. And he said, oh, but do people know you? Well, that's not very specific, is it? It's like he was almost going to drag me down the street. You know him? You know him? You know him? Do you know him? But people don't know because they're like, are you famous? Either you're famous or you're not. And we have levels. You know, people say, oh, C-grade celebrity, D-grade celebrity. But I think I figured out where my level of fame sits. You see, in the city where I live, if I go to a cafe and I have to use their toilet, if I go into the toilet cubicle and I see that there's poo on the inside of the bowl, I feel I got to pee that poo off, because if I walk out of the cubicle and someone's waiting and they recognise my face, they'll think that's my poo. And I got to be honest, when you've got that kind of fame, it's a responsibility, guys. And I like to actually get behind causes, because when you're in the public sphere, you feel you need to get behind things and be the change you want to see. And I feel I have to stand up for the people who can't stand up for themselves. And in this case, it's avocados, if I've got to be honest. Guys, this is serious. Avocados and the life that they have to live, because I think I can speak for all of us now when I say when you're shopping for an avocado, you don't just grab one. You molest the entire box. Are you ready? Are you mature enough for this? Yeah, it's like a mirror up to your face, isn't it, guys? They didn't ask for that, okay? Did you get permission? No, you didn't. You just went for it, didn't you? Are you Hass? Let's go. Are you Shepherd? Doesn't matter. Let's go for it. Animals, all of you. I've actually realised with avocados that that's the only produce that you can molest that much and no one looks at you weird. You can be sitting in the avocados for half an hour, squeezing them all, and people go, "You're making guacamole tonight, carry on, Squire." You can't be there at the bananas just stroking the shafts going, "Oh yeah, that's... they're ripe, they're good. They'll be fine." I think, though, we have too many rules in this world, if I've got to be honest. Too many rules that we live by. I was on a flight, and before we were about to take off, I was on this flight, and the steward said to me, "I was just going to move you, sir." And I thought, upgrade. No, I don't know if you've ever gotten an upgrade. I tell you what, when you get to business class, two kinds of people there. One, the people who actually paid for it. They're sitting there in their crisp shirts, hoping that their driver will be waiting for them once they hit the tarmac. And then there's people, like I've been in that situation, just going, "Hey, if it's free, fucking get it in me!" You are just finding every open orifice and filling it with free shit. I'm rolling up turkey breast and putting it into my eye duct. I'm loving it. Just having everything within arm's reach. Ordered 20 pyjamas, that'd be great. Put one on, throw 19 into economy, go, "Oh, look, the poor people are fighting." Truffle oil for everyone. Like, it's great. And they only moved me a couple of rows. And I thought, well, this is strange. And I said, "Why did you do that?" And she said, "Legally, it just, when a man is sitting on his own like you are, and you're sitting next to an unaccompanied minor, we just have to move you." And I didn't cotton on initially. I was like, "What's wrong with the kid?" What'd the little creep do now? But then it clicked into place. I was like, "Oh, no. I think I know what she's accusing me of." And of course, I didn't want to go down swinging, so I was like, "I'm still not following. Sorry, what's going on?" And she said, "Well, it's just, it's pedophile." And she just whispered it like it was Voldemort. Like there's a guy that came over in 46J going, "What's going on? What's happening here? You're looking for pedophiles?" And I was so mortified. You could understand that situation. She said this in front of everyone who was boarding the flight. I thought, "You're accusing me of this thing. That's a disgusting thing to throw at someone." And to just have the assumption that that's going to happen. And then we're just going to move them a couple of rows across. I was like, I just wanted the world to swallow me up. I was embarrassed and I was mortified. But then it dawned on me, because of that law, I never, ever have to sit next to a screaming child on a flight ever again. Before we take off, I just have to go, "Bong, excuse me, stewardess, looks like this sexy child is missing its mother." And then I get an upgrade! Thanks so much for listening, guys. A great night.